Hey, what's going on, everybody? In this video, I'm going to give you some biblical construct on how you can, in fact, help a brother out. Let's get to it.
Yeah, here we go. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Somebody say hello, feel this talk. You know how we do it in this space. We try to get our healing. Hey, it's Wayne's word of the day. 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 Wayne's word of the day.
From the bank, and the bank is telling me, hey, Pastor Wade, we just want to let you know that we are leaving the building, that we are getting out of, per se, the brick and mortar. We recognize that all of our people are banking digitally. And so we are not renewing our contracts with the spaces that we have as it relates to the brick and mortar. And we are, in fact, leaving the building. We're going digital, you know. And I began to think about how does that even relate to the church? And something dawned on me that the church, in a lot of instances, is the only institution that's longing, literally fighting to get back to what it was before. All of these other institutions, all of these other places are understanding, are reading the tea leaves, if you will, understanding that we live in a new norm and that people are changing. Yeah. And so they're figuring out creative ways and different ways on how they still maintain their business model while recognizing that we can't do it the old way. So my bank was clear in the letter. They said, listen, we're not out of the banking business. We're just going to do it a different way. We want to meet our people where they are. And they said after doing the research, we discovered that most of our people are doing stuff digitally. And so I see, and this all came full circle to me because I'm there on social media after our production meeting, and my wife shows me like a post that comes up, and it's kind of like somebody, you know, in the old usher uniform talking about, I can't wait to get back to these days. And I just chuckled. I just laughed. I mean, it was very funny to me because I'm like, that's like a 1950 paradigm, even that uniform. And here we are in 2021, and people think that's really kind of what church is all about. And so we get caught up in these methods and these things that we have been doing so long, and we kind of think that's God, and we fail to realize because we're so tied into these certain methods, we miss the message of Jesus. And so when I looked at the text that I talked about today, as it relates to help a brother out, we see where Jesus is, in fact, planting seeds as it relates to his disciples of doing things differently. It is no surprise that when we divide the Bible, we have something called the Old Testament. But when it comes into the context of Jesus, it's called the New Testament. Yeah, Jesus and them even understood that while the message does not change, the methods do. So in the Old Testament, we have the patriarchs, we have the fathers, we have the prophets, per se, who carry heavy influence, the judges in the Old Testament. When we shift to the New Testament, it is no longer just one person that we're running to, if you will, who can only talk to God. But in the New Testament under Jesus, the Bible says that all of us can run boldly to the throne of grace, that all of us can find help in the time of trouble. But it seems to me that even now we are the only institution that's afraid of change. Because too often we correlate methods with Jesus and we lose sight of the message. And so Jesus here begins to plant the seeds to his disciples to say, hey guys, we're going to do some things a little bit different. And can I suggest that Jesus is in fact in the reaching and connecting business? Because if anybody understands anything about social media is really all about the premise of social media, and the digital construct is about reaching and connecting people. Can I suggest that Jesus invented the reach and connect? And so when I hear people saying the like and share is not in the Bible, I'm like, you don't know your Bible. That's what the go ye therefore is all about. It's about the reach and the connect. Jesus is shifting the thinking of his disciples to move beyond just simply rules and regulations and laws. He shifts the paradigm from methods to people. How do we connect with people? You do know that's what salvation is all about, that Jesus came to not save methods, but he came to save people. I wonder if I got somebody tonight who would take your finger and say, I know that's right. Yeah, Jesus didn't come to save your method. What he came to save is his people. So he begins to plant these seeds, even right here in chapter number 9 of Matthew. We see the fulfillment of it, the true calling of it there in Matthew 28. But in Matthew chapter 9, he begins to plant the seeds of this whole notion of relaunch and renewal and rebrand. Hey guys, we're not doing it the way that they did in the Old Testament. Do you understand the reason that Jesus ends up with so much beef in his day? People are beefing with him. People are upset with him because he dared to say, hey guys, we're not doing it that way any longer. And this frustrated most of the people around him because they had correlated the message, God, with their methods. Can you hear them today? Jesus, we don't touch stuff on the Sabbath. Why are you letting your disciples pluck the wheat on the Sabbath? Why are you healing people on the Sabbath? You know, we don't do that, but they failed to realize that Jesus had come to put people over their methods. So when Jesus comes into the world, when he starts his ministry, it really is a relaunch, a rebrand of ministry as it relates to the Jewish folks of his time. He comes to take it to a next level, if you will, when you really think about, when you really think about it, he comes, remember in the Old Testament, God said to Abraham, I'm going to make you the father of many nations and all of those things. Jesus, in essence, comes to relaunch, rebrand this whole notion of that. Jesus comes to put the focus back on people. And in this day and time, we need ministries and we need churches that put the focus on people. Can I get somebody to say, I know that's right? Now, some of y'all, I done lost some of y'all even right there, because you're saying, ain't it supposed to be on God? Absolutely. But it's this understanding that God has come to help the weak and the downtrodden, to give liberty to those who have been captive, blind sight to those who were blind, encouragement to those who are struggling and wrestling with all of the cares of this world. Yeah, Jesus came to put the emphasis on, I've come to salvage, to save my people. And so what's interesting when you look at the text, there is this model that's going on. Go back and read it for yourself there in Matthew chapter number 9. In the beginning, Jesus is doing everything. The paraplegic that needs to be healed, Jesus heals him. He's doing that. He's doing everything. He pulls Matthew into ministry. So he's pulling all the folk in the ministry. He's healing everybody. He's going to all of the dinners. He's doing everything. And it teaches us, what Jesus teaches us in that moment is a couple things. One, if you're going to help a brother out, you have to recognize the opportunities. You have to recognize the opportunities to be a blessing. See, sometimes we miss the opportunities to be a blessing because instead of seeing the opportunities, all we see is the opposition. Yeah, it's right there in the text, Matthew chapter number 9, because here's the reality. As Jesus is healing the paraplegic, as he's pulling Matthew in and all of these particular things, the Bible says that there is opposition. Matter of fact, chapter number 9, verse number 3, it says, and behold, some of the scribes said to themselves, this man is blasphemy when he heals the man who needs to be healed. See, Jesus recognizes the opportunities to be a blessing, and he does not allow the opposition to stop him from being a blessing. Can I get somebody tonight to say, I know that's right? And too often we miss the moments to be a blessing because all we can see is the opposition. Somebody trying to stop me, somebody trying to block me, somebody trying to prevent me from doing that thing that God has called me to do. Jesus sees the opportunities. The first thing you're going to have to recognize if you're going to help a brother out, if you're going to be a part of, if you're going to pick up what I'm putting down, if you're going to be part of this push to help us to go viral, to spread the gospel, you're going to have to recognize the opportunities and stop focusing on the opposition. Because here's the reality, with every opportunity there comes opposition. You can look at that. You can find that all throughout the Bible. Anytime God is trying to raise people up, opposition. You know, the old church used to say something like this, high levels, high devils. Y'all remember that? But you have to learn how to focus on the opportunities. This is what Jesus comes to show us. If you're going to help him out, you're going to have to help a brother out. You're going to have to see the opportunities. You're going to have to figure out how to get in where you fit in. You're going to have to lose the notion of, I can't do it, somebody else should do it. You have to lose this notion of, you're not qualified, you're not capable. You don't have the capacity, because I believe whatever God called you to, he's going to bring you through. Can somebody say, I know that's right? There's some of you right there in the room. You dared to step out on faith and look at what God has done in your life. Is anybody picking up what I'm putting down tonight? Yes, you're going to have to be able to recognize the opportunities and stop focusing on the opposition, because here's the reality. Reality is opposition everywhere. There are some folk who just don't want to see you walk in the purpose and in the plan that God has for your life. That's just, can I just be real with you? Can I just be, yes, it is. And I ain't just talking about folk outside the church. I'm talking about folk in the church. But you are going to have to be able to focus on the opportunities. Yeah. And so we see all of that. Jesus is doing everything. But by the time we get to verse number 35 into 36, Jesus, after doing all of these things, now turns to his disciples and say, hey, we gonna need some folk to help a brother out. Yeah, that's what he's doing everything. He laying hands on everybody. He going to all of the church dinners, he doing all of that. But by the time you get to verse number 35, 36, Jesus said, we gonna need some folk who gonna have to be willing to help a brother out. It's in the text, y'all. Go back and read it for yourself. Notice what it says. Yeah, it's in the text. He says, Matthew 9, 35 and 36, notice what he says. When he saw the crowds, he had compassion on them. Yeah, he saw all of the opportunity to be a blessing, but the need was so great. The need was so great that the Bible says he has compassion on them in verse number 36. And then he turns in verse number 37 and he looks at the disciples. He says, the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. You picking up what Jesus putting down. Jesus said, I need some folk to help a brother out. Yeah. I need some folk to help a brother out. He has compassion because the need is great. The need is everywhere. And up until this point, Jesus has been doing everything. Then he turns to the ones who have been rocking with him. Yeah, who have been sitting under him, studying under him. He says, listen, it's so much need. The harvest is ripe and plentiful. There are so many opportunities for the gospel to get out, the good news for people to be healed, delivered, set free. However you want to look at it, he said, there is so much opportunities, brother. Brother needs some help. Can you help a brother out? The harvest is plenty, but the laborers are few. Yeah, that's what he says. That's what he says. He says, so much opportunity. But we need some more folk who are willing to participate in the process. We're going to need some more people who are willing to be down with the cause. We're going to need some more people who are going to be willing to go into the hedges and the highways and, talk about this thing called the gospel. Talk about this man called Christ. We're going to need more people to lend a hand. Yeah, to join in, be a part. Yeah. To get connected. Because we're in the business of what? Reaching and connecting. So Jesus says there's going to come a time when you can't just be sitting looking on the computer. You're going to have to participate. You're going to have to, participate. Be one of them people who help us to reach and connect. Yeah, reach and connect. Can you help a brother out? Yeah, can you help a brother out? But it's interesting. He says there's plenty of great opportunity. And you would think right there in that moment, he would tell them, notice this is not chapter 28. This is chapter 9. So he gives them something that is crystal clear that just I was like, notice what he says. He gives them the landscape. There's plenty of opportunity to do the work. But notice what he says. He says, but I need you to pray that the Lord of the harvest would send more laborers. Did you miss that? Did you get that? Notice what Jesus says. Jesus says, there's plenty of opportunity, but before you step out there, make sure that you pray on it. Pray that more help will come. Pray. Notice what he says. There's plenty of opportunity. The harvest is plenty of labors are few. Pray that the Lord might send some more help. Yeah, that's what he says. And that's critically important. Why is that critically important? I'll give you two reasons. The first reason is because we're limited in our capacity to really do what needs to be done for the Lord. I know some of y'all PhD, some of y'all MBA, all of that kind of stuff, and you think you're somebody, but when it comes to doing what God is trying to do, you don't have enough. You don't have enough money. I know some of y'all say my bank account is right, it's fat, it's good. You don't have enough. I know some of y'all saying, I've been to this school and that school, and you don't have enough. When it comes to doing what God is really calling us to do, you're limited. We're limited. And so he said the first thing that you got to do is pray that God would send the help. That God would send the help, that God would send folk who want to be down with the cause, that God would send folk who want to be connected, that God would send folk who want to go viral, that God would send some folk who want to be on the team, not just be around the team, not just talk about the team, not just bring criticism to the team, not just give information about the team, but want to be down with the team. Yeah, who want to be on the team, who want to be connected, who want to be in the business of reaching out and connecting, who want to be in the business of liking and sharing, who want to be in the business of getting this gospel out. Is anybody picking up what I'm putting down tonight? He says, so the first thing, you got to understand that you're limited, that we're limited in our resources, and we need other people to come in and help with the program. And then the second reason is, here it is. The second reason he wants us to know it's the Lord's work. This is why he says, pray that the Lord will send the people that are necessary. Because sometimes the people that you think are necessary are not really the people who are necessary. Pray that the Lord would send the right people to help to accomplish what needs to be done, because at the end of the day, this is, in fact, the Lord's work. And I know sometimes we are like David's daddy. We look out and we see our sons and they look strong and they look like they ready to go. But God said, no, they ain't it. I want that dude who you ain't even considered, that you ain't even think about, that you don't even think got the capacity. Yeah. I need somebody like Peter, one of them roughnecks. I need that joker. I need that joker who kind of talk crazy a little bit. I need that joker, who will pull out a knife. I know who don't look like what we think it should look like. I know. In our context, we think it'd be somebody, who do all of that kind of stuff. But it's the Lord's work and it's the Lord's choosing, and he chooses who he wants to choose. Can you help a brother out? Yeah, that's simply what it is. That's simply what it is. So he says, pray first. Just understand we're limited in our capacity. Understand ultimately it's the Lord's work, and the Lord chooses who he wants to choose. He uses who he wants to use. And here's my final thing, and I'm going to get on up out of here when I talk about can you help a brother out. Can I give you some good news, though, tonight? Yeah. I know look for the opportunity. There's always going to be opposition. Make sure that you're praying. But here's the reality. Don't just stay in prayer. Now, I know I done messed some of y'all up. I know I done messed some of y'all up because some of y'all, that's all you want to do. Yeah. All you want to do is pray. All you want to do is pray. But notice the text says, he says, pray that the Lord of the harvest would send some folk to help in the work. Yeah, see some of us, sister, I see you got skills and abilities, talents, and all of this in this area. Do you think that you could help? I'm yet praying on it. Sister, I see that you have a gift with numbers and everything like that. Can you help us to make sure that we get our books together so that we can be lined up so that things can be above board and correct? I'm praying on it. Sister, I see that you got a wonderful voice, that you can sing, that you are creative, that you have the gifts of the arts and everything. Come on, can you help us, in the Lord's work over here? Pastor, I'm still praying on it. Sometimes all we want to do is pray on it. But notice what he says. He says, pray to the Lord that the Lord might send some folk who want to do the work. And so can I suggest to you even tonight as I get up out of this space I'm done. I'm done. I'm finished. Can I suggest to you tonight that you are in fact, you are in fact the answered prayer. That you are, the ones that we've been praying for. I done messed some of y'all up. That you are the answered prayer. I know you're looking around shaking your head, talking about me. You are the ones that we've been praying for. You are the answered prayer. You are the ones that God has sent to show up in this space, to get connected with what it is that we're doing to help to go viral, to get the word out. Don't look around. Don't look to your left. Don't look to your right. It's just you in your living room. I'm talking to you. You are the answer prayer. But you got to see yourself as the answered prayer. See, you didn't just show up in this space and get connected in this space by coincidence. It's because we've been praying that the Lord would send some more folk into the harvest, and you didn't showed up. Can I tell you that you are, in fact, the answered prayer? Can you help a brother out? You are the answered prayer. Can you help a brother out? Don't